So I wasn't even going to do a haul on this. Started to open it up. Hey, Jebba, welcome to BrickTsar. This is a package I ordered. It's Lego products from Amazon. And I opened it up and just want to show you. I've been selling stuff on eBay and I pack things. I've been selling sets. In my Bricklink store, I primarily sell just parts. But this is not how you pack something. But it arrived okay. But it's just like they just threw the 2 sets in the box and taped it up. I don't know how it arrived in this condition. It doesn't seem to be smashed. But typically what I would do with something like this is I would put some padding in there. And I actually would go a step further and I would score the box with a razor like that. Oh, actually, let me show you. So people that work at Romeoville and people that work at the Amazon warehouse, they're not going to have time to do any of this kind of crap. But this is like the size of the box. When you ship something to somebody, the size of the box matters, and it can make a huge difference in the cost. And I recycle boxes. I keep a lot of boxes that I get things in. Some of the bigger boxes I recycle because I'm not selling big sets usually. But I can usually, it's not that hard to get a big box. The little boxes sometimes it's hard. So I keep, I usually break down my boxes and I have them stacked in the back of the basement. And when I get to them, I need them. But one thing I did, I wouldn't recommend doing this with the set that you're selling. Like I'll usually put something else in the box that's a similar size, but I take my razor and I kind of score it. This just helps it bend the box. So what I'm gonna do is make this box smaller. It's gonna take about 3 inches off of the size. So once I've scored it, then I'm gonna cut that. Cut away from the children, towards your enemies. All right, so because I scored it, I can do this and fold the box over. Boom, and then boom. So I've made the box a lot smaller. And then all I got to do is put in some of the paper like Lego does. See, having that extra cardboard, that's good on that. Now I might take this, and don't do what I'm about to do with your set in the box, because you run a chance of cutting it. So I'll go like that. Oops. Take some of the extra. That takes a couple ounces off of your package. Boom. And now I've got a smaller box. Did that take me a lot of time? Yeah, if you're in a warehouse where time is important, that's going to matter. But the reasons you do it, the reason I do that, especially if I'm sending something that's valuable. These sets aren't valuable. They were on sale. We got Peppa. What is this? Peppa Pig Supermarket. Can I name all the characters? Papa Pig, Peppa Pig, George, Mama Pig. Not bad, not bad. And then this other one is Grandpa Pig's Garden with Grandpa Pig, Daddy Pig. Did I call him Papa Pig? It's Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig. Is that George? And there's Peppa, and then there's Mama Pig, I think. Or is that her cousin? Do they put these things in? All right. I may do a separate video on these later, so just be warned. I got both of the big Peppa Pig sets. There's more. I got another small one. This is a boat that I got. But if I was selling Peppa Pig sets and I didn't want to get. Now I'm saying all that ironically when they arrived in fine condition. There was nothing wrong with them. If this was like a $400 set, and it's just rattling around in the box, and then having that extra space, what can happen if the box was the original size? Now, of course, that cardboard would have been there. it's more susceptible to being smashed. But if there's things inside there, like the paper, it keeps it from getting smashed, and then making it smaller makes it cheaper to ship, believe it or not, in most cases. I'm basically doing this for Jason. This is what I do. And you can just scale it down for smaller sets, bigger sets. I usually try to find boxes where I don't have to cut them down, but sometimes it's hard. But I just sold a couple of things this morning. I should have did a video. One was a train set, and one was a Lego set. And I did cut the box down on the train set, so it'd be a little bit smaller. But yeah, package stuff where it won't get damaged. Anybody sell sets? Anybody buy sets? And do you notice a difference between what you get from a retailer or a place like Amazon and Walmart and the Lego company, or versus what you get from somebody you buy on eBay? I will say that you are, as far as like getting damaged stuff, yeah, it's probably more likely to happen from a casual seller on eBay. I think it was it Jason's Bricks and Fives and Alex, their podcast, the Breaking News podcast. The example of sometimes they just slap a label on it, and I have received things from Amazon that were either put in bubble mailers. I may have gotten one Lego set, I think, that had the shipping label on it. It's usually not good to ship something like that that's got this very colorful box, because it does make it hard for the carrier to see the label sometimes, depending on how colorful the box is. But I have a video on Trains Are Fun. I'll see if I can find it and remember to link it. But I bought a Tommy train set that had the box, and I wanted the box. And in the auction, I don't think I have the original pictures now. I don't know if I showed them. I don't think I showed them in that video. I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. But anyway, the box, the Tommy train box, all they did was, when I won the auction, they took brown tape and taped up the box and put a label on it. Yeah, no concern for the condition of the set, and they ruined it. And I was like, I just wanted the box. And then I had the case. I had one of my viewers who I've had so many generous people that have helped me with this channel over the years. I feel very fortunate in that. But one of my viewers did something for me. Now, there was this Duplo auction, and I was trying to collect all the boxed versions of the Thomas the Tank Engine stuff. And I already had all of the sets. I had already done videos on all of the sets. I just didn't have all of the boxes. I used to have all the boxes. I threw away some boxes. So I bought the biggest, one of the hardest sets to get. I finally found somebody selling it with, or they had the box in the listing, but in the listing had a disclaimer. Even though the box was shown in the listing, it said box not included, because they're going to throw it away because it's too big to ship. And yes, it would be very expensive. And I was like, I will pay for the shipping. I just want the box. I just want the box. You can fold it down. And so it was the auction was in Florida, and the shipping, and I think it still would have, because the box was so large, it's much larger than this. It would have been like, back then, I think it still would have been like $50 or more to ship. And I just wanted that box, and it doesn't come up for sale that often. And so he wouldn't do it, so I didn't buy the auction. And then one day the package shows up, and it's one of my viewers had sent it to me anonymously. I guess they had gone and got it, and I guess they must have gone and got it in person or something. I don't know how, because the guy wasn't going to ship it, but they must have did something to get it, and yeah, it showed up at my house, so I have that set. But anyway, this I didn't, I was just going to open these to make sure everything was in there and go about my business. I got a fantasy set I got to be doing a video on. So, yeah, I'm warning you of videos you may or may not want to watch. So, Fantasy sent me this set. I I thought I was in the process of going through what the agreement would be. And next thing I know, the thing shows up. So I didn't agree to anything. I just said, they said, would you be interested? And I said, sure, I could do that. And that's all I said. And then they sent it. It's like, oh, I thought we'll work out what the agreement is. But anyway, so there's a quick sneak peek. This is the fifth, oh no, I just knocked over Peppa. The 5th anniversary toy store. I'm going to take this upstairs and work on building it. I'm going to film some B-roll footage for my video. And yeah, this one's, and as my wife said, what's Pantassi? So, yeah, and they've got this little thing here. So that'll be an upcoming video. The Peppa Pig stuff will be an upcoming video. And I already mentioned breaking news once, but oh my goodness. So we went to Orange Beach, Alabama, which is like 6.5 hours away from my house. But we picked up my grandson, and on the way down, we separated the grandsons because the older one likes to aggravate the younger one. And so it'd be more peaceful for everybody if they were separated. You got to keep them separated. Hey, and we watched Peppa Pig on the way down and on the way back. And I have to say, I had never really watched Peppa Pig at all. I didn't know anything about it. But guess what I ended up doing? I ended up buying 2 sets. And there's a couple of Peppa Pig things I want now. I want Lego to do. So one of them has to do with Miss Rabbit. Can you guess? Can you guess? Anybody can guess. And another one has to do with breaking news. That's all I'll say about that. If anybody can figure out the reference, there is something that is... I could just see Alex Nunes doing the voice for one of the characters and his sidekick being Jason. You talk about inside jokes of inside jokes. I'm the only one that knows it. But yeah. So anyway, I hope you learned something about packing boxes and why I like Peppa Pig and fantasy. Oh, we'll see.